Hello and welcome to a midweek Sunday Club with Suhel, Seth, and myself. Only today, we're the Gurugram residents, and if you've been watching the news, you know it's pouring, and we're paralyzed. We're all at home because it's just too dangerous to go out. In fact, we wanted to record this podcast, and then I told Suhel, like, let's just stay in and let's just do this on online. So that's really what we're doing. We're making these kind of choices in 2025, which is sort of really absurd. But here we are. Sohail, how's your day been today?
Very good, very good. I read a lovely book of poems
Mm-hmm.
which I will share with you. Actually, it's not about, it's by Miriam Sir, Letters of a Portuguese Nun. You must read it. It is fantastic. I read,
Okay.
I went through my study, I packed some books for my daughter. I've had a very productive day, but I feel sad for people who've had to brave the indignity of living in Gurugram, who have been let down successively by various governments of various political parties, the Congress, the BJP. It's a national shame earlier. Now I would classify it as an international shame. This is no way to live. This is no way to die. This is no way for patients to be moved to hospitals. There are 6 hospitals in Gurugram. Can you imagine the plight of people, their families? We are becoming a sick society as far as civic amenities is concerned.
And this is also a place where you have the richest in the country live. So it's
You have
not
the
like it's
richest.
some backwater.
No, you have the richest. You have all the big companies. So can you
Mhm.
imagine internationally what damage you're doing? So if I work for Coca-Cola and I can't get to work, and I tell my people in Atlanta, sorry, I'm not going to work today because we are flooded out, what impression are you giving the world? And then you have the Prime Minister, rightly so, exhorting people to talk about smart living, Swachh Bharat, and his own government, his own party people like Nev Singh Saini, before that Khattar, before that Huda of Congress, all have let the citizen down. And no one is accountable. My worry is no one is accountable. No one gives a monkey's toss.
Yeah.
In any other country, they would have been accountable and they would have been behind bars.
Well, we've lost Sohail. That's unusual. He will be back soon. So, just to keep you posted, the latest from the Gurgaon situation is that today was supposed to be another day of heavy rainfall. It's not raining as of now when I look out the window, but we were told that it's better to stay indoors unless you have something essential that you need to do outside. So, most of us have been indoors, and Sohail is back. Yeah.
So, point I'm making, Advaita, is it's no one's case that, oh, everything is bad, but it is bad. If we don't speak truth to power, we are not doing a great service. If you and I don't use the media or our social media presence or whatever we have at our command to uh, to awaken the authorities, then we are doing a great disservice to ourselves and to our colleagues and to our citizens. This is the problem. And you know what has happened is Salman's father, the eminent Salim Saab, one day told me on a walk on Bandra Bandstand, I said, भारत की अगर आप एक प्रॉब्लम बोले वो क्या है? He says शर्म गायब है. Shame is missing today. People are not ashamed anymore. The politicians are not ashamed. You can abuse them, you can call them scoundrels, rogues, they don't care. They're thick-skinned. Because ultimately it is power that matters. And absolute power to them matters absolutely, without any accountability.
No, it's disgusting, and the BJP has been voted in repeatedly into Haryana, and even despite that, okay, I can even give them that grace that it's a legacy issue, etc., etc., and I've done that in the past.
It's
But
11
you've been
years.
in office
For
in it for
fuck's
11
sake, it's
years.
11
Yeah,
years they've been in power.
there's
Who else
just
do they
no more
blame?
space
Might as
for
well
that
go and
kind of
blame Lord
excuse.
Clive or Mountbatten. Because Nehru is done with blaming. Who will you blame? And let's imagine when Manohar Lal Khattar took over and there was a mess. Why did he not arrest people? Why did he not establish the culpability of the previous government? You know why? Because it's a cozy club. It's the Republic not of India. It's the Republic of Nexus. Every year, as Mohit says, every year we have monsoons. We know that there will be monsoons, there'll be rain. We don't do a damn. Garbage is lying all over the place. Construction debris is all over the place. Builders are building as if there's no frigging tomorrow. It's a shit show. And the more we say it, we are seen as, oh, people are raving and ranting. So what do? हाथ पे हाथ बैठ के, हाथ पे हाथ धर के हम लोग बैठ जाए, कोई अकाउंटेबिलिटी नहीं हो, और आप देश को ऐसे ही चलाओ. और एक बात आप कहते हो कि नहीं, देश की $4 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी होगी. अरे घंटा इकोनॉमी होगी. जिस इकोनॉमी में आदमी सड़क पे नहीं चल सकता, गाड़ी में नहीं बैठ सकता, पानी में बेचारे को चलना पड़े और इलेक्ट्रिक्यूट होता है, वो कौन सा देश है? और आप कौन सी $1 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी की बात कर रहे हो?
But that's what's shocking, na, Suhel. People have actually died because of this.
Exactly.
And yet,
has anyone gone to jail? Has anyone filed a case of culpable homicide against the district magistrate or district commissioner or whatever the hell they're called? No. Last night, to be fair and give credit where it's due, the Gurugram police showed its true valor and courage. They did, which basically tells you, Advaita, if the government wants to work, it can. If the administration wants to make things happen, it can. It is not that all hope has been dissipated, but someone needs to take a call. We are not being able to take a frigging call. No one wants to say anything. And I blame the citizen himself and herself. How many citizens have got illegal constructions where they bribe these jokers? And now they're all complaining? Is the citizen also equally at fault? How many citizens have actually gone to town or gone to court or said things because they are scared? कि भाई अगर हम कुछ बोलेंगे हमारे पीछे पड़ जाएंगे. कौन पीछे पड़ेगा भाई? और आप कौन सा झूठ बोल रहे हो? तथ्य की बात कर रहे हो, आप सच की बात कर रहे हो, ये आपको दिख रहा है. It's not that in the stealth of the night that these things are happening. It's happening every day.
Yeah.
If it's not the rains, it's the garbage. If it's not the garbage, it's the construction debris. Khattar brings the city to ruin. You promote him to the union cabinet. As what? Minister for Urban Development. Irony, died 1,000 deaths. I said this in my Indian Express comment. There are more liquor vends in Gurgaon, bring your own booze restaurants in Gurgaon, than functioning traffic lights. Why?
Yeah.
Because they make money off every goddamn license. The corruption, both moral and monetary, is now beyond redemption. And no one does anything. No one says anything.
And I recall meeting with a very senior political leader from Haryana, and I was introduced to them, and someone said, oh, she's also lives in Haryana. So he immediately got perked up and he said, oh, where? And I said, Gurugram. And he says, oh, that's not Haryana. So is there like attitudinal issue also in the political class?
Absolutely.
That, Gurugram is not really their problem?
Yeah, they believe Gurugram is an oasis of the rich. Not realizing these freaking scoundrels don't even know the reality of demographics. What happens to the daily wager? What happens to the clinician, the nurse, the doctors who populate all our hospitals? What happens to people who are coming to Gurgaon to work? I mean, can you imagine, Advaita, how ridiculous things are? And we don't say a damn? I mean, I'm disillusioned. And you know why? I'm a great believer in Modi's vision. And you know that I don't support any political party. The Prime Minister's first public program was that let's launch Swachh Bharat. And everyone laughed, but it was the most critical program.
Yeah.
Today, his own party's government in Haryana is letting him down. What does that say about the arrogance of these people who are running Haryana? What does that say about their commitment to citizen benefit and citizen dignity and citizen livelihood and citizen living? Diddly Jack.
And I don't know if you noticed 2 weeks ago when the expats came out to pick up garbage from the streets here. Did you see that?
Yeah, the French and the Japanese. See, those to my mind are shameful incidents for us, but we also go overboard. Arey yaar, dekho, bahar ke log aa gaye, foreigners ne serve kiya. Those are optics. those are meant to shame. But
But
remember one thing:
important,
these guys are
but they should
so
shame.
thick-skinned. But Advaita, these guys are so thick-skinned; they don't care. They don't
Yeah,
give a monkey's toss. Gurugram today contributes more taxes than all the cities combined in Haryana.
correct.
And yet, no one does a monkey's toss in Haryana. No one cares. No one gives a rat's ass. Is this the country you want to build? Is this the Haryana you want to see? Is this what you really want to do to our country? Is this brand India? I mean, what the fuck is going on? Sorry for using an expletive. There is no accountability. Where are the courts? You have great lawyers like Nileshwar Pavani and Mahalakshmi Pavani who practice in the Supreme Court. Hire them. But no one does anything because no one gives a toss. That's my
And you look
issue.
at, and Suhel, you see Noida. Noida is fine.
Absolutely,
Noida's
because Noida
no
has a
issue.
great, Noida's the state chief minister is Yogi Adityanath. You need a great leader. And let me tell you, no matter what you might say about Yogi Adityanath, he is kicking ass as he should. I wish Yogi Adityanath was the chief minister of Haryana. This whole city would have changed in 24 hours because he would kick ass. He would make people accountable. He would send people to prison for dereliction of duty.
He would actually not tolerate this. Absolutely not tolerate this. And that's why I'm so surprised that how can any chief minister, any administration tolerate this year after year after year? How can they see this happening live on TV and not think like that we need to come together and we need to do something? If nothing else, then for our own reputations, for our own interests.
भाई
We'll shame
reputation तब हो जब आपके पास शर्म है. When you have nothing to lose, you don't care. A, B, I think you said it on an earlier channel's program that we are not the voting bloc. I
Yeah.
certainly am not. You aren't. And why should you not blame the citizen? The citizen keeps electing the same government for 3 terms. The government that has consistently let Gurugram down, at least change the goddamn member of parliament from here or the MLA.
Where are they? Where are they?
Nowhere to be seen. The MLA
Where
is
are
nowhere
they?
to be seen. Inderjeet Singh, Rao Inderjeet Singh is a fictitious character. These are all Mr. Indias floating around. They're invisible. We don't bloody see them. Other than the time that they need our votes.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. If we were, say, one voting bloc, if we were a particular religion that voted together or a particular caste that voted together, would we be in this condition today? No.
No. And look at all our urban cities. Where there is good governance, there is great management. If Lucknow can do it under BJP, Indore can do it under BJP. You have Revant Reddy in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a first-rate city with great urban planning. Chennai is getting better. People abuse me when I say things about Mamta, but Mamta Banerjee has done a great job with Calcutta. At least it's clean. Point I'm making, Advaita, is you need leaders with balls. You need leaders with a spine, and you need leaders with empathy. When balls, spine, and empathy are all missing, you get the kind of leadership you're getting today. And you will continue to get it. We will continue to have this program once a year. You tell me, Advaita, everyone knows that monsoons will happen in India. Everyone knows बारिश होगी, flooding होगी क्योंकि हमारी drains ही नहीं है, sewage systems ही नहीं है, construction debris है. Does it bloody take rocket science to plan? We don't plan. We plan for later. You see, this concept of karma कि अगले जन्म में देखी जाएगी. Now everything is to अगला जन्म.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that we also need to start rating chief ministers on the basis of how they perform with civic infrastructure, not these big ticket announcements that they make that we'll set up this factory or X company is moving to us or this is the amount of investment we've brought into the state. None of that nonsense. We need to know how our lives are better on a day-to-day basis on the ground. I mean, that just gets glossed over and everything about governance becomes an event or a social media reel. That's all it's come down to. where the everyday life of the ordinary citizen is horrible. And the stress that it adds to you, the cancelled plans, the lost opportunity cost, the kids having to stay home from school, it's just never ending. The people who have to go out and work, who don't have the option to stay in, what they're being exposed to, it's never ending. And you're right, empathy is completely absent. It's
Because there is
non-existent.
no accountability. मैं आपको एक बात बोलूं, you arrest one officer, I'm not saying this officer or that officer, for dereliction of duty. You arrest one fellow for culpable homicide and see how things will change. We are
Yeah.
a danda nation. जब डंडा लगेगा तब सब ठीक होता है.
It's so sad, it's so sad that 75 plus years after independence, we're struggling with these things. I was chatting with some journalism students today, and they were sharing with me they've done some research. And they said, ma'am, Berlin is cheaper to live in than Gurgaon. And I was like, really? And they quoted some figures to me, and they've done proper research. They said property prices are less. These kind
Let
of
me tell you,
amenities cost less.
Camellias of DLF is retailing at 100 crores. That at an average is about $9 to $10 million, depending on price fluctuation, blah blah blah. $10 million, you can bloody get a penthouse on Fifth Avenue. You can get a townhouse in Belgravia. You can get, in Fiji, you can buy the whole island nation. In Singapore, you can get a great apartment. Here, you buy the apartment, come out of the apartment, and see what you have to do.
Swim.
Exactly.
If you want to move to Gurgaon, make sure you know how to swim. Really, that should be the tip that we as residents should be giving other people, frankly. And Suhel, I don't know. I mean, this kind of social media work, they're posting, all the government officials are posting photographs of themselves, monitoring
On
the
the phone.
situation
Did you see
on
a
the
photograph
phone.
today? IS
Yeah.
officer on the phone, police commissioner on the phone. Hey, who are you phoning? Indra Dev to stop the rains. Who the fuck are you
Step
phoning?
out.
Who are you phoning? Hey,
Step
I'm sorry
out.
for getting upset, but it has really anguished me. Now it's not even anger. I'm anguished. We have such great opportunities in this country. Some stupid fellow said, "Oh, why don't you leave the country?" Why should I? I love my country. And
No,
I will
wanting
weather the
your
storm.
country to improve doesn't mean leaving your country. That's absurd.
Exactly. Why should I?
And also, I mean, we are taxpayers, right? We pay our taxes. We have a right to question this.
No one is
If we
bloody
do
doing
not
me
have
a
a right
favor
to
by
question this,
maintaining a
yeah,
city. I'm paying my house taxes on time. The day the house tax notice comes, it gets paid. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've never had a traffic violation. I don't drive, so, you know. But the point I'm making is it's not that. It's not about me or you. What happens to the daily wager, Advaita? You tell me. Who comes out every day in the hope of making an honest day's living? What happens? What happens to the family that has to go for chemo or for platelet transfusion? What happens to those people? What
really.
happens to those people who have to go for surgery? Have we become so pathetic that we don't even think about the less privileged, the more acutely pained people in our society? Empathy and shame have both vanished from our lives, and we need to restore that. And the only way to restore that is A, by speaking truth to power, B, by making these jokers accountable, and C, by demonstrable punishment, either electorally or through the courts of law. There is no fourth way.
And being noisy. I know you're doing a lot of debates. I'm doing a lot of debates today because the media has their attention on this issue, and we have to raise our voices. We've done it in the past, we're doing it again, and sometimes it feels
And I will
repetitive.
continue to do it.
But one has to keep doing it because there's just no other way of highlighting this.
Yeah, and as I told you earlier, you and I have recourse to media. We have recourse to our social media presence. We need to do more. We need to be responsible. I think on that note,
Yes, our little show is over. We're going to keep coming back whenever there are issues. And
Absolutely.
I know that this is not just a Gurugram issue, it's other cities as well. And city infrastructure across the country is crumbling. It's just different shades of crumble, so to speak. So we will be back. If you ever want us to talk about your city or a particular issue there, I think it's important that we lend our voices and take that on as well, Suhail. So I hope you'll join us also, Suhail, because
Absolutely.
your voice really gets around, and I think we just need to amplify these things. Enough is enough. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.